everybody. A few more minutes. What's up, everybody? All right. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there in YouTube world, Twitter world, wherever you may be, Facebook world? How y'all doing? I've been gone a couple weeks. Last week was my wife's birthday. Drawing up the divorce papers as we speak. She is now 37. I usually try to keep my ladies between, 30, 35. I gave her grace, let her make it to 36. 37 is just it's just taking it too far. She's old as dirt, so I think it's time for me to just go ahead and recoup. Give me something, give me another tenderoni, okay? Don't tell anybody. It's our business. I'm trying to keep this private between us, so just stay out of our business, okay? We got some good stuff coming up. We got an interviewer gets punched in the face, man. I felt bad for interview dealing with pro-choice versus pro-life. We got Byron Donalds giving a little history lesson to white liberals, to a white liberal. Okay, got to be careful of those white liberals, man. All right, and we got this whole thing, with the tariffs and Trump and I like to compare and contrast, right? Show you guys where history repeats itself, okay? Now, for those of y'all who may be wondering, hey, man, what side of the fence are you on? I mean, I'm tuning in and you're going hard on the Democrats and you're giving Republicans grace. What's wrong with you? What you independent? What side of the fence are you on? Okay, we're going to get to that, all right? Let's go.
Here's my question for you. Do you acknowledge the impact that Republicans had during the civil rights movement? Do you acknowledge that?
I acknowledge the parties flipped. People moved. There was a migration of people between the parties.
Do you acknowledge that Robert Byrd, who was the dean of the Senate, Robert Byrd, who was a lawyer for the Klan, never changed parties, stayed a Democrat to the day he died? Do you acknowledge that?
Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, they've been talking about tariffs for decades. How come when these Democrat elites want tariffs, everything's hunky-dory, but when President Trump wants tariffs, all hell breaks loose?
I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
All right. So let's get to, we're going to start with Byron Donalds, all right? If you don't know about Byron Donalds, he is one of the very few black Republicans in the United States of America, okay? Nonetheless, he's one of the very few Republicans that I rock with, okay? We don't agree on everything, but it's some things I do agree with him on, right? And be honest with you, what drew me to him was the leftist media attacking him for something that he didn't say as it pertains to Jim Crow and the marriage rates within the black community. You know, he was celebrating the rising of black marriages in the black community of today and comparing and contrast and using Jim Crow as a timestamp, not as a time, Jim Crow was a great time. I played that video with Joy Reid, but, nonetheless, right? So Malcolm X, somebody who I hold near and dear to my heart, okay? And one of the main things he would call out, the people he would call out and the things he would discuss surrounded white liberals, okay? You have to be careful of white liberals. Just because they white and they on the left don't mean that they get it, okay? I'm going to play this, and I want you to pay attention to what this white liberal says to this black man at the very beginning, and then watch how Byron Donald schools him about the history of our government as it pertains to Republicans versus Democrats. Okay, let's go.
The civil rights movement. I honestly can't believe there's guys like you in the Republican Party.
Here's my question for you.
Did you hear what he said? I can't believe that people like you or someone like you could be in the Republican Party. Do you see how this white liberal is trying to put this black man in his place, like he knows where this black man is supposed to be, what side this black man is supposed to be on? He's trying to gather him and get him together. You see that? I'm going to rewind it so you guys can hear it, okay?
The civil rights movement. I honestly can't believe there's guys like you in the Republican Party.
Here's my question for you. Do you acknowledge the impact that Republicans had during the civil rights movement? Do you acknowledge that?
I acknowledge the parties flipped. People moved. There was a migration of people between the parties.
Do you acknowledge that Robert Byrd, who was the dean of the Senate, Robert Byrd, who was a lawyer for the Klan, never changed parties, stayed a Democrat to the day he died? Do you acknowledge that?
In racially homogenous districts, they like social welfare programs, they like democratic ideas, but they also are racist as hell sometimes.
Do you acknowledge that the federal judge in Montgomery, Alabama was a Republican, appointed by a Republican, and that was the judge that overrode the laws around the
I know we got a lot of Democrats in sheep's clothing. I know we got a lot of Democrats in sheep's clothing, and they're going to get weeded out soon.
I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about what Republicans did in the civil rights era.
We got rhinos. We got dinos and we got rhinos.
Can I ask you the last question? Which party actually supported the KKK?
I'm going to come to your district and register a lot of poor people. I'm going to register them. I'm going to get the felons that have had their voting rights taken away that don't even know they can vote still now. I worked on felons voting rights in Florida 7 years ago.
You ready?
I'm going to come to your district. I'm going to register so many people. I have nothing but time.
Do you remember the amendment about restoration of voting rights? You ready? I endorsed it. I supported it.
Thank you for that.
I did that because
well,
when you pay your debt to society, you get to come back and be in America. I believe that.
See, that's why I encourage people to do your due diligence and just do the history of the line of the side that you're on, right? So people ask me, like, hey, what side you on, man? Damn, you a Democrat? Come on, brother, you're supposed to be a Democrat. You can't be a Republican, but you don't ever be calling out of Republicans. Well, guess what? For the longest, I have been told and taught that Republicans ain't gonna do nothing for nobody that look like me or my community. So I already know what to expect from that side. But there's another side that's been telling me, and for as long as I can remember, on, how much they care about my community and, you know, calling out the injustice within my community or as it pertains to my community, but ain't did shit. So therefore, I direct my, they're my target, right? They're my target. They're the party who are consistently seeing and letting up and misleading my community. So I'm going to keep calling them out. It's not that I am for Republicans. It's not that I'm an independent, and it's not that I'm anti-Democrat. I have no issue with either side because I know as a unit they are working perfectly. They're as what they're designed to do, and it's to have us, me and you, pit against each other. I'm not going for it no more. So I have no problem sitting right here. And when I hear Democrats say some BS, right? And I'm quick, hold on. Call them out. Hold on. Or when a Republican says or does something and they like, oh, look at what they're, I'm like, hold on. Let's rewind it. 10, 15 years ago, y'all was doing the same shit. So why is it bad that they're doing it now? Why is that, right? Brings me to the next thing right here. History repeating itself. Is it repeating itself or not? I would say yes, it is repeating itself because I'm going to show you, just like how I showed you last time as it pertains to the cutting of Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security and all these things, right? How they were just like all up in arms. The Democratic Party was all up in arms against Donald Trump. But then when you do a little rewind, and you don't even have to go back far. You can go back as far as you can go back just as far as the Obama administration, because he was right there along with him, Chuck, Nancy. They were talking about the same exact things that the Trump administration is talking about. Now, you may say Trump is going overboard. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's being spiteful. He's doing all these things. Well, guess what? That is another problem for the Democrats, and that is their doing. That's their doing. They propped up Kamala Harris knowing damn well she had a low approval rating. They usurped the primary for the Democratic base to have a say-so on who was going to be the nominee for president-elect or to run for president. They did this. They opened the door for this man to walk his ass right on in, but nobody's calling out the Democratic Party for that. Everybody just wants to keep blaming this side and blaming what he's doing. Well, guess what? You need to start looking at what the root of the cause is. Stop looking at the symptom. Look at what causes it, right? So I'm going to give y'all a little flash from the past, okay, as it pertains to Trump and these tariffs. But we're going to start with, the whole, how could I say, the rising of costs, all, gas and groceries and all these things, what they haven't been telling you. And this is news as of April 10th, okay? Let's go.
Trump promised that he would lower costs, in fact, on day one. But what we've seen under his reckless leadership is that costs aren't going down in America. They're going up. Inflation is going up.
Breaking moments ago, brand new numbers showing inflation fell last month, much better than expected.
So this.
Why you don't hear the Democrats talking about that? Why aren't they being honest with their constituents? Why aren't they being honest?
Was actually a drop of 0.1%, negative 0.1%. That's the first time we've seen that since COVID. Year over year, the annual inflation rate was at
since COVID.
2.4%. This was also better than expected and a 6-month low, moving in the right direction.
Let's rewind so you can hear this again, because I was interrupted and you may have missed something, okay? You may look at that neck. 0.01%. What is that? That's a whole lot. And it's so much that even the CNN's reporting on it. They had to report on it. You think they wanted to say that? You think they wanted to bring that up? Let's go.
Trump promised that he would lower costs, in fact, on day one. But what we've seen under his reckless leadership is that costs aren't going down in America. They're going up. Inflation is going up.
Breaking moments ago, brand new numbers showing inflation fell last month, much better than expected.
So this was actually a drop of 0.1%, negative 0.1%. That's the first time we've seen that since COVID. Year over year, the annual inflation rate was at 2.4%. This was also better than expected and a 6-month low, moving in the right direction.
Okay, so salute to Queen Maya Haru. Yes, I always make sure I come with receipts. You know, I don't want to just be sitting up here blabbering my mouth, okay? That's right. I always come with my receipts. And these are my receipts coming up right here, okay? This is, what you're finna see right here is Trump being asked about the hypocrisy from the Democratic Party as it pertains to tariffs. Now, I did my due diligence, and I went back to the archives of the Democratic Party speeches as it pertains to tariffs, okay? I got it all right here. Let's go.
Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, they've been talking about tariffs for decades. How come when these Democrat elites want tariffs, everything's hunky-dory, but when President Trump wants tariffs, all hell breaks loose?
I'd like to call the attention of our colleagues to this chart on the status quo that the business community is asking each and every one of us to endorse today. Right now, we have a $34 billion trade deficit with China, the 1995 figure. It will be over $40 billion for 1996. In terms of tariffs, I think it's interesting to note that the average U.S. MFN tariff on Chinese goods coming into the United States is 2%, whereas the average Chinese MFN tariff on U.S. goods going into China is 35%.
Now, you tell me where that makes sense. Tell me where that makes sense. And this dates back to when, and like I said, I am not a Trump supporter, but I'm going to call out the truth as I see it. I'm just going to call out the truth as I see it. You can call me whatever you want. But I have seen video clips of this man around this time, if not before, talking about how this country is getting ripped off. Was he lying then? He can't be lying now, because even Nancy Pelosi is speaking towards how we've been getting ripped off. 2% versus 35%.
Is that reciprocal?
I think the president's doing the right thing. China has been taking advantage of us for two decades. They're stealing our intellectual property, which means stealing our good-paying jobs. And I, frankly, am closer on this issue, not on many, but on this issue with President Trump than I was with Presidents Bush or Obama, because they did nothing.
Do you see this double standard?
I love this guy, whoever the hell that is. That's really nice. I appreciate that question. No, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, everybody knew you had to do it, but they never had the guts to do it. It does take guts. It even takes guts for our country to go through it. That's why I say be cool. They were saying about, see, just be cool. It's going to work out. It's going to work out, and it's working out. I can tell you, working out maybe faster than I thought. But I said it's going to take a little conditioning. It's a transition to, I think it's a transition to greatness. It's going to be greatness. Our country is going to be, there'll be nothing like it. And people investing in our country, they're going to do better than they've ever done before.
That's facts. That's facts. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that hypocrisy? I see it all the time. Like I said, my eyes have been open. My eyes have been open. I've taken off the Democratic shades, and I'm seeing more of the picture than I've ever seen before. And I'm not saying I see it all. I'm not saying I can call out stuff before it happens. I'm not saying I got, inside information at the White House, somebody who is, leaking information. I don't know no whistleblowers. But damn, I can know how to use my common sense. I take them shades off. I see stuff a little bit more clearly than I ever have. And for a lot of people, when it talks about the tariffs and the discomfort, whatever they may be feeling, that's what I speak towards when it comes to my community. The reason why we are still where we are in society is because people are afraid of any discomfort. They like what you say can happen or what the goal is, but they don't always want to go through what it takes to get that or to get to that place. So is it possible things are finna get tough around here financially for people as far as, things like they talking about, even Apple is finna, their iPhones is finna rise to $3,000 a phone because now they're being forced to move their companies back to America, right? A lot of things are gonna be exposed. If you don't know by now about the corporate greed that exists, you're gonna learn more about that. Because all these businesses that have to come back here, they're going to raise the price within here and within this country to try to make up for all the money they was making hand over foot by paying cheap labor overseas, which should have never been allowed in the first place. But that's the reason why a lot of us are in the conditions that we are in right now. It's because that little word discomfort. Discomfort. For all you people who are religious out there, you heard about the story of Moses. Letting his people go, freeing his people, and how God was just so damn frustrated because he got these people out of captivity, and they didn't want to. They were complaining the whole goddamn way to the promised land. They complained the whole way. Discomfort. If a black man stood up right now and says, "Hey, I have a plan to where every black man, every black woman, every black child will no longer be, stereotyped, discriminated against. They will have access to capital just like any other community of people. And I guarantee you will flourish in this country from now on." And he says, all you got to do is make sure that you only buy from black businesses. That's what the first thing people are going to say. But it's easier for me to just go down to the Walmart. The Target is right here. But Amazon, I got Amazon Prime membership. It's free for me, to get my stuff a lot quicker. I don't trust black people. It's all black folks, they just don't know how to do their business right. They're always trying to get over on you. Discomfort. It's the discomfort. House niggas. Do you know how many house niggas told on field niggas? Excuse my language, but I just gotta say what it is. They told on people that was stirring up revolts. They was getting ready to take out everybody in the plantation that had them enslaved. They finna take them all out. And here it come. The discomfort of massa make sure I eat. Massa make sure I have a roof over my head. If we kills massa, what we's gonna do? How's we gonna eat? How's I gonna know when I sick? Massa tells me when I sick. I don't know about that, Jessup. So what he do? He run an old mouse and he blow the whole shit. But he don't even know. He don't even know. When you cough, nigga, you're sick. Whatever massa was eating in the big house, it's still there. Nigga, you're farming all the vegetables and foods your damn self. You're picking the cotton that keeps you warm in the winter. This land is your land. Take it. Nope. Discomfort. This discomfort gets us every time. Gets us every time. All right, so we're going to move on. Hope you learned a little something. We're going to move on to this last one right here. Pro-life versus pro-choice. I'm sorry, I left that out. I don't know how I left that out. Pro-life versus pro-choice interview gets bloody. Okay? Who you're going to see is 30-year-old Breonna J. Rivers. She is being asked a series of questions, okay? Savannah Craven Antao, she is the interviewer, okay? And they're going to go back and forth. Savannah is known as the pro-life. And the woman she's interviewing is pro-choice, and she's very, very, very pro-choice. You're going to hear how pro-choice she really is and how it got to being a bloody incident. Okay, here we go.
You have a channel?
Yeah, we're doing some interviews today.
I love your skin tone too.
Thank you. Such a good vibe.
Of course.
Well, awesome. So we're asking people's opinion today on Planned Parenthood. Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what they provide?
Yes. Abortions.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Safe abortions.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know any other services that they provide?
I know, like, to teens, if you're under 18, you could get like birth control, condoms, counseling. They offer a lot of, beneficial things that the youth really should use right now.
Okay. So you have a pretty positive view of Planned Parenthood.
I mean, majority. I don't know. Is this like a yes or no? Am I wrong?
It's your opinion.
But yeah, that is definitely my opinion. I feel like, especially as teens, people get caught up in things that they really don't want to commit to for their entire lives. So, if you get caught up with the wrong guy, you think you're in love, and then, boop, now you stuck. Not stuck, but you're stuck with a baby for the rest of this time, literally the rest of their lives and your life, if you're that kind of mother, because some women just don't have it in them and they abandon them and abuse them and all kind of shit. And it's like, girl, just get rid of it if you know you're gonna do that.
Get rid of them. Why not just give them to another family? That's good.
No, but exactly, even that, and that's another option that Planned Parenthood offers. So it's like, if you know that you are not the being who can provide for this child, then there are alternative options out there for you. So I definitely understand why people do abort children. Don't have babies that you don't want. Don't have babies that men are telling you in front of your face that they do not want. I wish them would stop doing that. Like it's like a plan to.
Why don't they just stop having sex with people they don't want to have a child with?
That too. To me, it's always pro-choice, your body, your life, because that baby is gonna be a baby.
It's a baby.
Yeah, and you're gonna have that baby forever. So yeah.
Well, do you know that Planned Parenthood gets nearly $700 million of our taxpayer money every year?
$700 million? I mean, honestly, I can't go against Planned Parenthood. I just can't. $700 million for how many single mothers?
Of our money. But they're not giving it to single mothers, though.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna just, single out where it is that our tax dollars go, then the police, respectfully.
So it's really interesting because since 2010, prenatal care has been down for 80% since 2010 at Planned Parenthood. Adoption referrals. So this is why this is research straight from their yearly report of 2022 to 2023, I believe it is. And so they're a 501c3. They have to tell us what they do every single year. So this is straight.
Which should be any union corporation. If we are paying tax dollars towards you, I need to know that you are doing the job and doing it correctly.
Right. But let me continue to tell you. So the STI testing and treatment down 15% since 2019. Client numbers down overall 34% since 2006.
Nobody has insurance. I don't have insurance.
Donors down 21%. Contraceptives down 44%. Breast screenings, manual breast exams down over 80%. And you mentioned adoption. They commit 228 abortions for every one adoption referral. So why are they getting so much more money yet all of their services are going down?
The services are going down because people are afraid. Women.
What are they afraid of?
Women don't know. They don't know what they're exposing their bodies to. A lot of people, especially behind abortion, there's a stigma.
But their abortions are going up. So they used to have this slogan where they said safe, legal, and rare. That's what we want. Safe, legal, and rare abortions, until it was exposed that a lot of these facilities were requiring abortion quotas. So the more abortions each facility did, the more praise that they would get. They would get awards. And so it's really interesting. That doesn't really make it seem like they want safe, legal, and rare abortions.
How many people can you think, or are you going to assume, would literally abandon their children with no repercussions from the state?
No, it's called safe haven baby boxes. We're at a fire station or hospital. You can leave your baby and the mother doesn't have to do anything with it. But that's better than killing her baby through abortion, right?
No, ma'am.
It's not better to give your baby up to a family who wants them instead of killing them?
No, ma'am. I have seen so many stories and countless, literally, countless stories.
What happens in an abortion?
They literally suck the life out of you. They're going to take the whole baby out. And as they should, because I shouldn't be a taxpayer paying child support and food stamps and WIC
think you should be a taxpayer paying for abortions?
Exactly. But as for a woman who didn't want the baby in the first place, that doesn't make sense to me. Don't ever sit here and lock yourself down with a man who already told you he doesn't want to be with you. He doesn't.
I agree with you.
I'm not disagreeing with you either. I understand.
You don't get to kill the baby just because their dad didn't want them.
You can.
Should we kill the kids in foster care? And
why not? Why not? If that's the case.
We should kill the kids in foster care that aren't wanted?
Who's going to take care of them? I need to know the percentage of people who take children from foster care and abuse them and molest them, who make them like personal slaves.
We should just kill them.
Statistics before you come to me talking about pro-life.
We should kill the victims of molestation.
I think, what does this have to do with molestation?
You just mentioned people molesting children. We should kill the kids in foster care is what you said.
What I'm saying is in general, overall. If I don't want to have a baby, I should have the choice to.
Just don't have sex then. Just don't have sex.
That's not even logical.
It is.
It is. Who are you, Nancy?
I sound dumb.
You sound
dumb as okay.
It does, because even as teens, people explore. And it's like, as funny as you want to be, people should still have the choice.
So you went from saying that my outfit was really cute to saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean.
But I think that your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
What's wrong with you?
Damn.
You have a.
Oh my God.
Hey! What the f did you do? She attacked my wife.
Your wife just attacked me. Why is it following me? Why you following me?
You're going to get arrested. Look. Don't worry.
She just punched me in the face. We were just doing a street interview with my camera and everything was fine for over 20 minutes or however long we were filming, and then she just punched me in the face. Oh my God.
Yeah, so the girl who, threw that bloody punch, let me pull it back up. She's 30-year-old Breonna J. Rivers. Now, as of yesterday, today's 11, right? Yeah, as of yesterday, she has been arrested, right? And when the arrest happened, Savannah, the woman who was assaulted and punched in the face, she was celebrating on Facebook. She said, let me see. She said, just got word from detectives that Breonna J. Rivers was arrested. God is good. Adding with a caption, thank you, detectives at the 28th Precinct, New York City. Hashtag Blue Lives Matter. Hashtag justice is served. Hashtag thank you, God, right? So I guess after this young lady, Breonna, was released, she went to, social media, and they kind of had like a little back and forth. So this is what she said publicly. She said, to Savannah, I sincerely apologize, but cannot sit around and allow you to continue pushing this one-sided narrative. I understand hands being put on someone is never the answer, but throwing rocks and hiding hands is worse. She knows the truth, and she needs to release the footage in its entirety. Savannah is a professional antagonist, not a reporter, and the truth will be told. I will not allow my image to be defamed by this woman's actions. Anyone who knows me knows how respectful I am. I don't even litter. There's no way you believe I'm punching people for disagreeing with my point of view. So that was her, that's her side of it. She said, I need a platform to share my side of the event. She has 7 million views, making me out to be a child-killing monster when she knows the truth. She railroads me into all of this. She needs to release the unedited footage with her relentless antagonization on a subject that is very touchy. I will not allow my image to be defamed by this woman's actions. Yeah. So that's what she said. That's what Brianna had to say. I ain't gonna lie. Don't like to go here with it, but here is who I am. Okay. If you know me, you know that I hate that slogan. There is no reason why a man should ever be putting his hands on a woman. I had this discussion with my wife, and she totally understands. She's with me. Let me tell you something. If my mama is getting into it with a group of young ladies, 2 or more, I'm haymakering y'all. Y'all not finna jump my mama. You ain't finna jump my wife. You ain't finna jump my daughters. Brawl for it all, baby. Okay? You're not going to ever hear me say there's no reason. There's no reason for a man to put his hands on a woman because he's being emotional, because he's not getting his way, because he can't control his feelings and his emotions. Yes. For self-defense and self-preservation, anybody can get it. Let your 3-year-old walk up on me and make me feel uncomfortable, uneasy. Size his ass up. Anybody can. I'm an equal opportunist, man. For real. You know? I see. You know how you see those videos of these women who are at daycares abusing children? Let me get to the woman that's abusing my daughter that's supposed to be at this daycare. Let me get to her before my wife does. You think I'm finna call my wife and say, hey, you need to go handle that? No, first come, first serve, baby. If you get me first, you get me first. I guarantee you, she coming second, though. She gonna get there. But I'm gonna get mine. Oh, yes, I'm gonna get mine. I'm an equal opportunist, man. If I was because that was her husband holding the camera. You hit my woman like that, shit, I'm gonna at least kick you in your ass and knock it to the ground. Say, hey, don't you ever put your hands on my woman again, bitch. That's just my opinion. I ain't for all that, man. I'm not for all that. I'm not for all that. That's just crazy. That is crazy. But the husband did right. Ran up on her, got some more footage of her, walking off, leaving the scene and all that stuff. Take care of your business, man. Because I just don't see how that interview could have got to that point. She's saying there was some stuff unedited and she's an antagonist. Well, if she's an antagonist, then just walk off and go about your business. But, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Salute, Key. Salute. Yeah. All right. I will be off another week this month. I'm going down to Ruston, Louisiana, for my stepfather's retirement party. And the last hoorah in Louisiana, my mother and my stepfather are moving to Georgia. My stepfather is put in his retirement papers, and my mama is finally being able to get out of that hellhole, that place that she hates so much. Well-deserved, woman. You paid your dues, woman. You paid your dues. I have fond memories of Ruston, but at the same time, I was able to get out. So, a lot of my stuff is just memories because I've been gone. But I'm going to go holler at my brother for the last time, man. I told him, I said, man, this is the last time I'm coming to this joint, man. It's the last time, man. You're going to have to meet me halfway, bro. You got to meet me halfway. I'm not coming back out here. My mama don't live out here no more. I ain't got no place to stay. I'm not getting no Airbnb or no hotel to stay in Ruston, Louisiana. I'm not doing it. You got to meet me halfway. Yeah. Thank y'all for, great show. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Auntie. Where you been at, Auntie? Huh? Where you been hiding at, Auntie? Just came and poked your head in for a little bit. See what I was talking about? See, making sure your nephew ain't going too crazy over here. Ain't saying too much. Ain't saying nothing too far out the way. I love you, Auntie. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, you guys, man, have a great weekend, man. Share this video. Don't forget to hit that like button. Hit that like button for me, okay? It helps me get in the algorithm. All right? Till next time, peace.
Do you think that with this kind of thoughts you have, you're being watched?
Absolutely. I know for a fact I am. I know for an absolute fact that I'm being watched.
Is this a thin red line between I fight for the rights of the black people of America and I'm a terrorist?
Yeah. I mean, to white America, I've already crossed the line.
So you are a terrorist for them?
For them, I am. For them, I am. I believe in black people. I believe that we have the right to live just like everybody else. And I'm not going to back down from it. You know, could it cost me my life? I believe so. Will it cost me my life? I'm not sure. But I know what the consequences are for me speaking out. I know what the consequences are for me training black people to defend themselves, to fight. People are tired. People want to push back. They just want to be left alone.